started about 11 o'clock. We are hiking up to Springer. We're up Springer right now, about halfway there. So we can get to the top of Springer, turn around and go back, start heading north. So right now we are headed south. It's a nice day. A little warmer than it was on Sunday. We have to come right back down this.
And go through the parking lot?
Go right through that parking lot. So we're headed to the top. So that was the top of Springer. We made it up. Now we're headed north. It is about 11:20. We're going to see how far we can go. The hike up wasn't too bad. Parked the car at Neal's Gap. And got Jeff to bring us all the way to Springer, or the base of Springer, which was a long way, about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So now we're headed towards Three Forks first, and then Gooch Gap and Woody. See how far we can make it today. It's gonna be a great one. We're just cruising down the trail. Like I say, we're just cruising down the trail. Try not to fall. Waterfalls down to our right. We're a little bit over 4 miles for the day. Water down there, headed towards Three Forks.
Hi.
Making real good progress, especially on this flat area. But that won't last too much longer after Three Forks. Yep. Just finished lunch. Now we're going to stop a little bit before we got to Three Forks. About 8/10 of a mile, we'll start climbing. Been pretty much downhill, flat, except for the very first part when we had to climb Springer. Other than that, it's been a nice day. Hi. Trails looking like right now. So this is what the trail's looking like right now. Creek's over there. Mountain that way. Three Forks that way. Here's Three Forks. Upstream. Waterfalls. We're going straight across. Three Forks is 4 miles that way. High Tower, where we're at. We are walking down towards High Tower Gap, the road, here in a minute, and then we're going to go up on the other side. It's going about 9.5 miles in about 4 hours, so we are making really good time still. We'll see how far we get, but we're still on track. Hadn't seen anybody in a while since we passed the Hawk Mountain Shelter, But there's a parking lot down here, so we're liable to see more people. Some pretty trees and a little bit of a view through there. Mile 10.5. Still going good. About halfway up, one of the last climbs of the day. You get this view. It's nice. Camp late last night, but this is our setup. This is actually us packing up the next morning. Unexpectedly, it rained, and we're in a cloud. But it would have been a nice fire pit if we would have gotten here before 8:30, 9 o'clock. And there's the tent, which kept us dry in the rain. We had no issues with that. And now we're about to hike 13 miles to Neil's Gap, and maybe some more from there. Just left the campsite on Friday morning, walking in a little wet down the hill from where we camped. Got it 13 miles to the car, and then we'll see how far. But if we could get out of this cloud, it'd be better. Probably wouldn't be as slick as well. Have a great day. It means there's two trails and you go straight. Looks like water, it's blue. So we just made it to Woody parking lot. Now we're heading up towards Blood Mountain. Still got a ways to go, but that's where we're headed. Entering the Blood Mountain wilderness. Neil's Gap, 10.8, Blood Mountain 9. Here we go. So just leaving Preacher's Rock. It's a little foggy out today, so can't really see anything. Now we got, I think, just a tiny up and then about 2 miles down. That'll be good. So we made it to Gerard Gap. Gerard Gap trail goes that way. Bunch of campsites and kind of flat. We passed half mile. Now we're about to start climbing up Blood. We got about 3 miles for the day left. That's Blood there in the background. We got about 1.5 miles to get up and over that thing. Just finished lunch. Now we're headed up Blood. About 1 mile to go. And we've made it to the top of Blood Mountain. We just came over the top of Blood. Shelter's up that way, but there were tons of people, so we just kept on trucking. This is a nice area here. There's some pretty colors about the fall color with the mountains. So here goes the beginning of Mark and Tim's great adventure.
Yep.
Starting at mile 31 and going to who knows where.
Going to who knows where until this gray-haired man drops dead.
That's not gonna happen. So here we go. Nice views over them. Doing the ridge walk. Got Mark going with me. Woo!
Mile 98?
Or 2.5.
Or 2.5.
Since we dropped the saddle off.
Send me some of these pictures because my phone's dead.
Yeah. Nice little view on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
One more mile to Tesnatee and that will be it for the day. Nice little walk down with a nice little view. With a half moon up there. And we're still half or 3/4 of a mile from Tesnatee. It's like 7:15, and we are just now finishing. A little bit dark, but it's all right. You know where we're sleeping. No problem. Good morning. It's the beginning of day 3. We just started coming up from Tesnatee Gap, and in 4/10 of a mile, going up 400 feet. It's been raining. We're dry for now. Hopefully the weather stays away for a while, but we've been going straight up. Once we get to the top of this mountain, then we got a lot of downhill after that. Good morning. I'll go the other way. That would look real nice if it wasn't all foggy. But this is what the trails look like so far. Up, up, and away. And Mark's down there. He's coming. We got another quarter mile of this, maybe. Then we get a long downhill for a while into High Pin Gap. But it's cool this morning. It poured on us, or poured on the way here. We stopped last night, got a ride to the Enoda Mountain Retreat, something like that. Which at least was able to dry out and take showers. Then on the way it poured here, and then it's kind of stopped for now, so here we go. It's like we're in the Raven Cliff Wilderness. What does that come? Here we are at the Mark Trail Wilderness. With Mark. Perfect. So it's about 3 miles in. Walking along this ridge. Sun's coming out. See it up there. A nice little downhill. First up was pretty tough, but ever since then it hasn't been too bad. We're doing a little bit more downhill. And then we start going with lots of little ups and downs, but it's been nice. Rain stopped, sun's out. Hopefully it stays that way. So that is Horse Trough Mountain in front of us. And then way over here is Brass Town Ball. At least that's what the app says. Long way away though. Old drainage system from a logging road. Is that 10 miles in? Slide on top of this ridge. Going at it for a little less than 5 hours. We are walking over one of the ridges at Blue Mountain, just past the Blue Mountain Shelter. Got a little bit more up to go. And then there's a very steep, about a mile downhill. And that will be it for today. Making today's total around 15 miles. Very nice up here. My man Mark coming up to the top of Blue Mountain, affectionately known as Dirtbag.
Dirtbag.
Woohoo! Big old tree. Been dead for a long time. So we just walked 15 miles from Testany to Unicoi Gap. That's where the day is going to end. And this will be where Mark ends because
Mark blew out a shoe.
if you look at Mark's shoe don't work no more. So I'll be going probably to Dix Creek tomorrow. And then that'll be it. Well, it's the beginning of day 4. I've climbed about 8/10 of a mile and 700 feet from Unicoi Gap parking lot up Rocky Mountain. Just past the Rocky Mountain Trail. So I guess another way to get to the top up here. So I'm alone today. Mark had his shoe issue, and so he's going home. I got about 17 miles total, so a little more than 16 right now. It rained last night, but it's just foggy right now. And I am headed to the top. So I've just come over Rocky Mountain, got about 2.7 so far. Next, headed up Tree Mountain, which is the second highest point on the Georgia portion of the AT. So making good progress. Still rainy or foggy, kind of misting, water just kind of falling, but not really raining. So talk to you soon. Well, this is what the trails look like so far this morning. Just over 4 miles. Kind of cruising along a little part here before we go up and over the big part of Tray. That valley down there, but can't really see a whole lot. Still kind of just wet. Maybe a little misty, but it's not really raining. About 9 miles in. Cleared off maybe a little bit. Still kind of foggy. Still real wet. We got some cool looking trees though. Everything's going good. Pass somebody every once and again. So there's a few people out here doing the same thing. So until I get a view or see something else, talk to you soon. Walking through the little tunnel here with these trees growing over the trail. It's kind of neat. It's still pretty foggy, but that would be a nice view if it wasn't. I'm just now leaving the Tray Mountain Wilderness. Now just leaving the Ray Mountain Wilderness. Just came up on top of Kelly Knob. Here's the view from the top. Still foggy, a little misty. Now I'm going down. So I said I'm going over Kelly Knob. It's about a mile straight up. Going into a mile from 11 to 12 basically for the day. Went up about 800 or 900 feet. It's probably equally, if not tougher than the first two. Rocky and Tray, or T-Ray. Try not to fall. So now I've got a little more than 4. Get to Dix Creek. This downhill, then I got to go up a hill, and then one more long downhill. That will be it. So again, Kelly Knob. I started to burn off a little bit going down through Kelly Knob. So these are the first scenic views that I've seen all day. So there's about 2 miles left and walking through this tunnel, rhododendrons again, so thought that was cool. Pretty much downhill for the rest of the way. Got one little bit of an uphill, but not really. Gone 14 plus, so probably 14 and a half by now. And gone up 4,750 feet. So there's been a lot of elevation today. It's been a nice day. Oops. That was the first snake that I've seen on the trail the whole time. So I've got about 3/10 of a mile to go to the parking lot. Been about 7 hours and 10 minutes, or maybe a little bit longer than that, but sub 15 maybe by the time I'm done. It's been a good hike. Thank you, Michelle, for coming with me on the first 30 miles and coming to pick me up here in the parking lot and probably waiting longer than you should. I will see you in a few minutes. See, the sun's starting to poke out behind me a little bit. Looks like it's cleared out. So it hasn't been as wet this final few miles, but still a little bit slippery. I made it. And she came back for me.
I did. I came back.
Thank you.
I waited a long time though.
Yeah, I was a little slower today.
I could tell.